and welcome to The Apprentice. You're fired. It's task 7, and with the help of unseen footage, we'll be drinking in the ingredients of this week's American challenge. And as the race to become Lord Sugar's business partner hots up, we'll start making our first predictions about who's going to go all the way. Now, some people cry at weddings. Some people cry at the birth of their children. But for some, it's seeing the electronic billboard advertisement for a pineapple raspberry lychee soft drink. I'm sorry, there's something in my eye.
It's so good.
Oh, come here, Felipe. We'll
really
be proud of you. Look what you've done.
I just feel so proud of what we have done. 90 years we've put this out.
Now to our panel, eager to get their teeth into what went wrong. Co-founder of Innocent Smoothies, Richard Reid, Lord Sugar's most fearsome inquisitor, Claude Littner, and comedian Catherine Ryan. Welcome to your fight. Tonight's task of creating a new soft drink in the Big Apple ended up with one candidate getting the pip.
From my instinct and gut feeling, Lauren, I don't think you're for me. I don't think you're my business partner. Lauren, you're fired.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lauren Riley. Lauren, lovely to have you here. I hope you had a lovely weekend in New York. And that is the upside, I suppose, anyway.
Yeah.
Disappointed, though?
Oh, of course, sorry, yeah, really disappointed.
Did you not think it was going to... Like, I mean, were you afraid of it?
I think looking back, maybe I was a little bit naive. I think from the moment Mark got the project manager spot, I think he really had that in line for me. You know, I'm not sure what I could have done in those circumstances. And obviously, I think Mark's idea was just keep me on the sidelines as much as he can with the tactical thing to bring me back at the end.
Really? You think that was all worked out? You think that he was all...
Yeah, looking back on it, I think it was, yeah.
That's interesting because, you know, yes, a number of things went wrong for you, but they did begin right at the start.
Lauren, you haven't put yourself forward. Are you being the typical safe lawyer?
I didn't feel that, you know, I'm not a particularly creative person. I didn't feel that that was my skill set.
It's not an excuse.
Lord Sugar is told to step up and take the project managing role.
It's a position I sit in the most in my day-to-day life, at the top of the tree, and I think I'll be really good at it. I think this is absolutely perfect for me. I've been to New York a number of times. I've got that local knowledge. I think we require strong leadership. I can't put myself forward strongly enough for this one.
I'd like to put a firm pole in the ground here.
This is your baby.
Happy?
Yeah. Lauren didn't get the PM job. It always seems she sort of just misses the boat.
You know, could you have done more to get the job?
I don't think in the circumstances I probably could. I mean, I've made a passionate pitch for it. I was really serious. You know, in the circumstances with Mark skirting around exactly what he did for a living,
yeah.
I don't think I could have, because, you know, I wouldn't have done that, you know.
Plus, of course, he wanted to put a pole in the ground, which is...
yes,
which is
I didn't
almost,
have any poles.
which is almost a phrase, but not one that anyone's ever heard. But once he's put the pole in the ground, it's very difficult to get around the pole.
Yes, this is true.
It is very, very difficult to do. Would you like to see Lauren PM this task? Do you think it would have made a difference?
Yeah, I would have voted for you. You gave a very passionate pitch. It was sincere, and obviously the appeal of Mark's firm pole is not to be, you know, exaggerated or underestimated. But yeah, I think you were stitched from the beginning.
Yeah, Claude?
I think you should have made an absolute fight for it because Lord Sugar warned you the week before, and you absolutely need to be the leader of that. And your analytical explanation of why you should not have stopped you from just saying to Mark, I want to be, and just had no excuse other than that.
I mean, because you said on your CV, you say you don't take no for an answer. And yet, obviously, you had to take no for an answer.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it was just me and Mark and we were battling it out, but we had to win round the other people, and when he'd said he was an expert in that field, they said, you did a really good pitch for that, but, you know, we'd be stupid to ignore the expert, and I don't think, you know, there was a way around it, unfortunately.
Catherine, what would you have done in Lauren's shoes?
Yeah, you also said you couldn't put yourself forward enough strongly, and you were right. But what are you meant to do, mud wrestle these lads?
Whatever it takes.
You put yourself forward maybe 3 or 4 times, and then you've got a liar on your hands. What are you meant to do? Really kick off? Just start smashing the doors in?
It's an interesting one because the role did go to Mark after he was a little bit economical with the truth about his job.
Mark, you were very forceful in wanting to be the project manager in this particular case.
We've got a fight on our hands because I want to be project manager so bad.
This is what I do every day. I do advertising for my job.
Not quite right, is it, Mark?
Obviously, being in advertising, coming to Times Square is like a dream come true.
He's not on the creative side at all.
My day job is a sales manager of online marketing.
You don't actually do anything involved in creativity of adverts?
No. I wanted to prove to you after last week that I'm not a backseat person.
You misrepresented yourself, Mark, however you want to say it.
Were you shocked when this truth came out?
I was shocked, and I was really disappointed because that was a pivotal moment in the task for me, and to find out, you know, later that, you know, it was based on a mistruth, it was pretty hard to take.
I would be more shocked if I had any clue what job Mark actually does. Because he does something involving people looking at websites in order to check where the websites end up in a search, something along those lines. One of those jobs that your grandparents just get bored of your describing and they go, you work with computers. That's enough. That's fine for me, right? Did you understand what his job was?
Well, I don't think it was the world's greatest lie. I mean, he does work in advertising. You just said that, you know, I guess he slightly exaggerated. And typically, you're trying to make an impression in business and win that gig, you sometimes are going to do that. So it kind of worked out for him. But I'm sure we've all been guilty of slightly exaggerating things, haven't we, to make a point? Or...
No.
No.
Literally never done that. And I've actually been really good about how I've never done that. I've actually been the best in the world. But were you? Do you? I mean, we're not going to build this up into a huge scandal. Were you shocked?
We are running away with job titles, and I don't like it. I think the posher you are, the less sense your job title makes. Bin man. I know what that is. That's a bin man, a man who takes out the bin. SEO specialist, marketing, ad sales executive, get out.
So literally, you would read the first page of your CV and just go, no, I just don't want to know anything about this because this sounds like nonsense.
I think if your job doesn't make sense immediately to a 5-year-old, then you've made it up.
I think my point in this whole thing is you could not let anybody be the PM other than you.
Yes.
Because that was fatal. Even if you were PM and you did a lousy job, at least you'd be in a prime position to blame other people, which is exactly what Mark was able to do.
How often have you been in New York?
I've been 4 times.
4 times? Wow. So when you talked of your extensive local knowledge...
An exaggeration.
What locations, what goes in the city of 10 million? You really covered a lot of ground in your 4 visits to New York, did you?
I did, yes, yeah. Expert.
Yeah. OK, grand. So let's get out of this glass house before we throw too many stones. Might be the idea. OK, so you missed out on being PM.
I did.
Fair enough. But then you're criticised for not getting stuck in.
I'm responsible for the failure of this task. You've heard why we failed, and none of it was me. None of it was me.
None of it was you. That's why you're sat here. What I was thinking on the label...
A splash of water with a pineapple.
The fruit could be coming out of the water, like creating a splash.
That's what Daniel had described to us on the phone, so that's good.
I also have an idea to just a quick icon that says, click here to play our advert.
We've been going to do it from the start.
Right. Felipe? It was my concept to come up with a healthy drink.
The initial concept was not just Lovin's idea.
Yeah.
How did we get on with the pitch?
There's one specific claim that we can make due to the unique...
I think Lovin was a bit flat.
It's just...
Dull, dull, dull.
What is your response general to the claim that you just didn't contribute enough?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very difficult to sit here and listen to that because, you know, I did contribute. I think it's the easiest thing in the world for them to sit there and turn around at the end when there's a lot of blame on all of their shoulders, let's be fair, to turn around and sort of try and pin that all on me.
I think you did the best you could, and you really can't beat yourself up about that pitch. Americans have no idea what you're saying anyway. They cannot understand that accent. They thought it was an S Club 7 reunion in the room. And you couldn't send Katie. You couldn't send Katie at all. You saw what happened with Cheryl Cole. They are not friendly. They do not want any Geordies over there, not for a minute. You did the best you could. And you said vitamins. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it was my extensive local knowledge. I used that to change what I said.
On your 4 trips across, did you hear them saying vitamins a lot?
I did, yeah.
It's great. Yeah. God, nonetheless, you think she could have guarded against that?
Well, I think you were so brilliant on the tour guide. You were word perfect. So it actually came as a shock to me when I saw you stumbling over something that you perhaps could have learnt in advance.
Do you still remember your Blenheim Palace stuff, do you?
Of course, yes. Would you like a tour?
I'd love a tour. When was the Battle of Blenheim Palace?
Oh, no, we didn't learn that bit.
The bit in the picture of the roof, like, whatever, yeah? Who was it between, anyway, the Battle of Blenheim Palace? OK, right.
Lauren, you had a lot to do with the branding as well, because I watched Daniel speak about working his nuts off to make love water. And that was not... I don't want that at all.
Amidst what might feel like a lot of criticism, we have to be fair, you did have one magical moment which is worth savouring again.
This won't let you down.
Thanks, Mom.
This won't let you down.
Thanks, Mom.
This won't let you down.
Thanks, Mom.
I love you.
Which accent were you aiming for there?
Somewhere around America.
Around America. You're like Mexican. Yes, let us turn then instead to our deadly rivals, Dan and Mark, who seem this week to have started a new era of mutual respect and understanding. It didn't last.
The actual drink itself, it is in your hands, OK? I will back you 100%.
This is a case of keep your friends close, but put your enemies in charge of somewhere else.
Daniel, I'm going to let you have the lead on that, mate.
And I will back you 100%.
Mark's backed us to the hill so far, but it changes in the boardroom. Once blame game starts to happen, he could change like that, and I know that.
I would back my team 100%, and I stand by that.
Who are you bringing back in the boardroom with you?
Regrettably, I'll bring Daniel back in as well.
Why is not Katie here, then?
Actually, I should have brought you in without hesitation. If I had £1 for every time you spoke rubbish, I'd have the 250 grand, and
Another
I'd be at home.
How long have you been sitting on that for?
No, listen,
another
Matt,
saying, right?
You are an absolute... I can't believe it.
How has it been working with these two?
Yeah, I mean, it is challenging, but I think what they fail to see is they're so similar. And I think that's why they really clash. I think they're both playing very similar games, and when they identify it in each other and it comes back on them, it's pretty frustrating for them, I think.
Yes, I mean, but it's not helping things. I mean, like since Mark moved over, you've got 2 of the 3 tasks since he moved over. It's not really aiding tenacity.
No, teamwork is not either of their speciality.
Oh, he'll back you 100%, back you 100%. I'll back you 100%. 100%, until the very first word of, I'm not sure about the branding, and you hear this Australian voice going, I agree. And it was like suddenly the 100% was from out that window. Like, these are easy words to say.
Yeah, well, I think those guys are sort of the classic thing. They say one thing and do something else. And the reality is you're not going to get on with everyone in business, but you've got to find a way to actually work together. And those two seem to be too busy locking horns to actually try and win a task.
Yes, it's not really a helpful tension in the team, is it?
Far from it. And I think also what's interesting is it was only 100%. Normally you get 150, 170.
Yeah.
You've got to be wary of that 100%. It's not really commitment.
Right. 110% is your standard base level of commitment. If you're not doing that, you're really robbing them of the extra 10%. Were you impressed by this level of commitment and how quickly it drained away?
I feel like they should kiss.
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
I didn't want to see that. I think genuinely we would tune in for that. You know, depending on how well it was directed. Felipe directed it. Quite a beautiful moment, to be honest. I'm dying not to say the word love water. As for the drink itself, well, that was a result of Dan's unique vision and commitment.
I will work my absolute nuts off to make sure I get the best possible product for us. I had an opportunity to show my creativity. I took on the key decisions.
Where was the creativity then?
It was... What about something like love water? Splash. Like how Katie's drawing it now.
You know, yellow on yellow on yellow doesn't work on yellow.
100% agreed. There should...
Well, you keep 100% agreeing with me.
Mark did say he'd back us.
Yeah.
And I think he was right to. He looks like he's backed the right horse, to be honest.
It looks a bit like what Big Dog does up against a lamppost. Insipid, dull. You say you wanted to prove something to me. It is not very good at all.
OK, here it is now. Due to health reasons, we're not going to drink it. We're not going to open it. We're just going to bury it in a concrete tomb in the Blue Peter Garden. And I hope that somebody finds it in the years to come. You can see how horrendous that is as a brand. Richard, would you ever back this as a design for a...
Well, I think what's great about it is just how terrible it is. There's literally nothing good about it. The name, the look, it's it's brilliant in its awfulness. I sort of... So it's to be respected for that reason alone.
Shake Me Well isn't a thing you really want on the front of it. You know, like, not as the main advertising thing, which is like, man, don't drink this as it is. Because this is settled into some weird kind of thing. Hydrated, happier, guilt-free. Who's guilty? Who started the day guilty? Not impressed? Not impressed, Claude?
Well, it doesn't look impressive, and I'm sure it tastes even worse.
Felipe, our dear Felipe, had a new role tonight, and didn't he relish every moment of it?
Felipe, I got the feedback that you went into Fellini mode.
I believe I'm super creative. Silence, please. No, closer, closer, closer. The camera follows you. Up, 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 up. Here, I want you to be playing here. Can you do anything with the basketball? He went mad. This becomes the actor, their expressions of, no, mom. You need to be better at catching. Don't do that.
Bossing poor Betty about.
Betty, a little bit lower. You just need to talk like a mom. Action, 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 action. Cut. Felipe being a director, I think that I have been doing okay.
Martin Scorsese, he's not.
Steven Spielberg called.
Lord Sugar, I am not the greatest director.
No, that is true.
Did you find anything to salvage Felipe and his reputation as a director?
Loved it. Loved him. Felipe. I think perhaps the advert was lacking penguins. I always want to know in an advert that animals struggle to find true love. Otherwise, absolutely nailed it. Felipe for the win.
Lauren, it's time to hear now what Lord Sugar and your former colleagues have to say about you.
OK.
Now, Lauren is clearly a very intelligent person, but this week her pitch was poor. Her colleagues were constantly criticising her for her lack of involvement, particularly in key decisions.
She was very, very monotone. It wasn't enjoyable to watch. If I had a Sky Digital remote, I would have forwarded that pitch.
Lauren contributed nothing, so when you've done nothing, how do I back that 100%?
I'm looking for someone with drive, passion and ambition to be my business partner. I didn't see that in Lauren, and that, regretfully, is why I fired her.
A tough watch?
Yeah, I mean, when Mark and Dan are the people contributing to the comments, I think, you know, I will take it with a pinch of salt. And, but obviously, it's difficult to hear what Lord Sugar said, but, you know, he didn't see it, but I think it was there to give. But
and are you going to carry on? What business project were you originally coming in with a proposal?
OK, yeah, so it is an app for law firms to communicate with their clients. It's revolutionary. It's been really well received. So
you're going ahead with that now?
I've gone ahead with it, yeah.
OK, fine. Grant, very, very good. OK, now, before we look at tonight's winning team, let's take stock of the remaining candidates in the race to become Lord Sugar's business partner. So this is how they stand at the end of 7 tasks. We have 3 groups and 1 person out in front. On our scale model of New York, which is obviously not particularly accurate because we've run roads all the way through Central Park, which now run sideways rather than up-down. Don't write in, OK? We have at the front is Roisin has won 5 tasks so far. Then we have a couple of people in 4. We've got Bianca and we've got Katie. They both have won 4. James, Sanjay and Solomon all on 3. And bringing up the rear, 3 of the better-known names of this year's show, which would obviously be Daniel, which would be Felipe and which would be Mark. Now, the question is, that's where they stand now. But previous performance is no indicator of how they're going to go from here on in. From the top, I'm going to get you to gauge how far do you think Bianca will go? Just as an estimation, given that that's the final over there. Am I close to it now? You mean further, further, further? Oh, okay, fine. Right, back. Yes. OK, I've actually gone backwards from where she started. Leave it there. OK, Daniel. That's harsh. Down here. OK, we'll leave it by Daniel's face, all right? That's... Felipe! OK, you like Felipe, I get it. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to know if they win the thing. How far forward do you think he'll get, though? You don't know what you're doing at all. This is where we are now, for God's sake. Somebody has to be on this side of the board, right? You don't think he's going to go all the way, do you? Right about here, maybe? OK, fine. OK, we're happy with that. OK, now, here's an interesting one, because it might have been a different answer a couple of weeks ago, but he's had a couple of good weeks. James. Now, do you think... Really? That's it, Trent. I'm going to put him here, just because that is... I'm taking into account the booze as well, chap. Right? Katie. OK, but ahead or behind these? I think... You're really sitting on the fence on this now, John. OK, right. Mark, one of the big B's so far. Well done. You really have become a panto crowd. Oh, well, I'm watching a business show. Yada, yada, yada. First chance to boo somebody. So really, though, how ahead or behind this group here? No? You think no. Richard, you think no. Richard, back further back here.
Back here.
OK. Now, Roshi.
Yeah.
Really? Wow, that's interesting. OK, so Roshan belting all the way to the end. That's really just to be in the final. We don't know who's going to actually win, obviously. We've no idea yet. Sanjay. Back here. Oh, my Lord. Oh, surprised. Genuinely surprised. Solomon! Don't forget, he likes to play hard, but work harder. That's what Solomon is. Do you think Solomon even all the way to the final? What? What's your... No! No, really? But near there.
The women are doing so much better.
The women are doing... You really think it's... Would that be... I think
women are always better in business.
Yes, well... So shall I just move her up to there, then?
Yeah. Roshan's going to win.
You think Roshan's going to win?
Yeah,
Let's go with that. OK, grand. Well, OK, move to here, then. All right. This doesn't represent anyone's views, right? It's a general collation of people going... And what in particular, which you couldn't see from here, people pointing both this way and that way, even though it's the opposite way to the way I'm standing, and I have no idea. And some people going up and down as well. I can't make them jump to other rows. It doesn't make any sense. So all we can say is there's a general schmozzle of people, as we say in Ireland, around the middle here. James might be there, Felipe might be there, Katie might be there, and some. But Roisin seems to be the standout candidate in most people's eyes. Those are our predictions. Only time will tell. And so to this week's winners. They may have been triumphant, but Bianca's advert for Big Dog didn't have much bite.
I'm going to be the director for the day. I need the brand to be facing forward.
I'll open it and drink it, yeah?
I need the brand to be facing... Yeah. Thank you very much. And action. OK, can you not squint like that? It's doing a funny squinty face. Give me some high five.
Bianca seems to think it's fine, but this doesn't say energy to me.
So it's play hard, but work harder.
That's the most boring advert I've ever seen.
We all feel energised after the Big Dog. To have no music, to have no energy on it. I thought it was like borderline tragic.
That was my choice.
What was that? It's rubbish, right? Less Big Dog, more Chihuahua. Dear, oh dear.
OK, Richard, your entire career is about selling drinks. How bad was the ad?
I think it is as bad as it could possibly get. I mean, as they said, it's an energy drink, and you sort of wanted to die just watching it. It was the most unenergising thing possible, and it was a good name. I'm worried about the logo.
We all know the logo. We
Drink,
think the dog that looks like. Yeah, it's rather famous. But that's it there, with the B vitamin bonus. And look, yellow. They love a bit of yellow, don't they? Bring out the Big Dog in you. Its bark is as big as its bite. That kind of stuff. That's all right. That's OK.
Well, I don't love it, and it does. The logo and the name does suggest it's for a different type of product for helping your dog get in the mood. But it's... I thought maybe for that you'd have the catch line, give a dog a boner, but it's... It's distinctive. You've got to get noticed, right? The Aqua Fresh nonsense, whatever it's called, is never going to get noticed. That does get yourself noticed. That's job number one.
It's all right. It's you know, it's red. It actually tastes red, bizarrely. It tastes like a lot of very heavy red, yeah, you know.
It's impressive. It's got 10 different chemicals in. I mean, That's going, son.
I can taste 8 or 9 of those separately. No, wait, no, there's a 10th. The 10th gives it its finish, gives it the length of the taste that I wasn't expecting. Yeah.
It is very American, though. They've managed to put sugar and fructose corn syrup in that drink. I mean, Americans, they will drink butter. Just market double cream to them. Just birthday cake juice. They'll have it.
We do, by the way, have a group of people from the American Embassy and from New York. Hello, how are you? How are representatives of America? Are you pleased by this characterization of the American? Yeah. You know the softer Guinness, the American. I mean, there are stacks and stacks of these kind of drinks. Like, is this a branding that you think would fit over there?
I think that Americans appreciate our friends across the pond, and if you had come with something maybe a little more British, it would have come more naturally to you and perhaps flowed a little easier.
Yes, exactly. So introducing a drink going, well, you're American, so you like a drink called Howdy.
I think they overthought it, and it just didn't come as naturally, maybe as if they had just invested some of their own knowledge.
So would this have stood out as kind of a foreign attempt at...
Yeah, when in dog, the way it's spelled is very Southern, it would have been dog. Like for New Yorkers.
Oh, no, they fundamentally screwed it up. Like, what is this, a Tennessee energy drink?
It's a very Southern spin on it.
Oh, look, listen, this is James. James has no idea where James doesn't even know how large his oyster is, but which actually sounds really creepy now. His world is that big, anyway. Yeah, so they would have got it hideously wrong. I mean, you know, should they have gone over them with a British product?
I think it's a brilliant idea, frankly. I do.
Grand, OK. Thank you very, very much. Apologies for the stereotypes. It was Bianca's... God, it's now kicking in. Now to the vote. Richard, do you think, faced with this particular choice that he had at the time, which was obviously with Daniel and Mark, do you think Lord Sugar was right to fire Lauren?
I think if you just took this week alone, he shouldn't have fired Lauren. I think and he admitted it himself, he let Lauren go for personal reasons, not due to the performance of that week.
So who should he have fired?
I think he should have fired the project leader.
I tend to agree. I'd have got rid of Mark.
Thank you.
Catherine?
I think what happens in the dark shall come to light. Lord Sugar may be the judge, but we are the jury. And again, standing out from those two men is not a bad thing. I would not have fired you, Lauren, no.
Thank you.
So who would you have fired?
I would have fired both the boys. Let them go fight at home. Big dog.
Let's throw that to yourselves. Green for hired or red for fired, if you can, please. Well, there's an endorsement there. It's green for hired. Well done, you. Very, very good. Only the second time this series that the audience have disagreed with Lord Sugar on this. Lauren, you were criticised, by the way, throughout this task of not doing enough, but we here want to celebrate what you did do well. So for us, it was the beautiful performance, which is deserving, we feel, of the highest accolade, the first ever, and I'm proud to present it to you, Shuggy Award. For this award is a special citation. It says, to Lauren Riley for the best Thanks Mom 2014. That is your gift from us. Thank you very, very much.
I'll treasure it.
I'm sure you will. Congratulations on reaching Task 7. Here are your highlights.
As a solicitor, I'm confident I can stand up in court, I can stand up in the boardroom.
This is my ta-da moment.
You've hit the heights.
We're in the saloon room at the moment, depicting the Battle of Blenheim.
She's mastered the facts.
I'm learning stuff about myself and things that I can do.
A good first sales spurt. I'd just calm it down there, though.
We've got to keep our eyes peeled. We'd really like to go with you if you're willing to work with us.
If somebody crosses me, they'll know about it.
I've asked you to do something. Please, just listen to me.
That conversation didn't happen, Sarah.
I'm a bit disappointed with the colour, if I'm honest.
And a good northern girl.
Thanks, Mom.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lauren Riley. And that's it for tonight. Thanks to all my guests. If you think you've got a brilliant business plan for Lord Sugar and would like the opportunity to take part in the Apprentice 2015, now's your chance. Go to our website at bbc.co.uk/apprentice, where you'll find all the details on how to apply. It could change your life, so give it a go. Next week, the candidates have to choose products to sell at an agricultural show. But who'll end up with the booby prize?
I've got a brand new combine harvester.
We are salespeople and we don't stop.
Can I interest you by any chance?
No, honest.
I am like 3 times more successful than you are, Daniel.
Leave him out of the task.
You got into his head.
And get on people's nerves.
That's how you imagine all English people dress.
Big tick.
45,
46.
45.
46.
I'm not going to change being a nice man.
Sod him. People don't want to hear that here.
Absolutely furious.
Well worth a look, I can promise you that.
Yes, that's next Wednesday, and I'll be joined by Lord Sugar's aide, Nick Hewer, entrepreneur Dale Murray, and comedian Joe Lycett. We'll see you then. Good night.
There's another chance to see last night's Spotlight at 11:20 here on BBC Two Northern Ireland. That's after Newsnight. Next.